Not looking at stitch meat. First it was cinnamon toast crunch bacon, and now we got alien chops. Ground beef with color added it. Why does meat need color inside of it? Like y'all real life put Sally from Monsters Inc. in the meat grinder. Who is eating this?
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here, man, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, unusual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank all my seekers, man, who's watching the videos entirely, commented down below, and watching the videos entirely. I greatly appreciate the support. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Say it with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
This woman swam with a mermaid and got it on camera. Check this out.
I saw dolphins in the back of me, so I'm trying to look through my photos, right? And I see that I know that's a dolphin because I saw them behind me. There's me.
Okay.
And I look over to the side because I'm trying to see the dolphin, and
that's not a dolphin.
What?
That is a human head.
Is that?
Mermaid confirmed?
What in the
There's
hell?
no way.
The hell is on?
This is the type of thing that makes me believe in mermaids. Even to this day.
I know there's a dolphin right there.
Yep.
Dolphin?
Dolphin.
Mermaid?
Mermaid. Stay weird, y'all. What do you think?
Quality
We have some
4K?
crazy things going on in the world right now. A bride was late to her own wedding after an officer pulled her over for going 105 in a 45. A bus driver with over 30 years on the job lost his $84,000 pension after he was caught stealing $7. Thanks to appearances in music videos and commercials, technically Taylor Swift's cat Olivia has a higher net worth than her boyfriend Travis Kelce. An Air India crew member downgraded a passenger from first class and then used that seat to sleep. A 19-year-old man was sent to prison for 8 months after making a bomb threat to a cruise that his girlfriend was on because he admitted he was annoyed that he had to take care of her pets. Meteorologists could not use damage to determine the strength of a recent tornado that went through Michigan because the Amish communities that this tornado mostly affected repaired their homes too quickly. After a man saved for 10 years to buy his dream Ferrari, it went up in flames less than an hour after it was delivered.
Damn.
Bringing awareness, like many other creators on this app, to the missing children in the state of Virginia and the possible ice cream truck connection. I've been tagged in a lot of ice cream truck videos. The latest ice cream truck video that I was tagged in is both disturbing and scary at the same time. Let me set the stage. A young lady walked up to this ice cream truck right here at 1 o'clock in the morning. Ask yourself a question. Why is it out at 1 o'clock in the morning? The exchange that the person in the ice cream truck had with the young lady is just disturbing. Take a listen to this.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob, come on.
I have to come in.
Come on, grab it.
You're supposed to give it to me.
No, it's free. No.
You heard what you heard. Hey, pretty girl, want some free ice cream? When she responds and tells him what type of ice cream she wants, come in the truck. You gotta come in the truck and get it. Why? Because it's free.
Nope.
I have no further details after that video had concluded. And thank you for tagging me in it. If anyone has any details or information on what else happened once that video concluded, please feel free to share in the comments. But this is very disturbing nevertheless. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Bruh, somebody tell me how the fuck this happened. A little boy was seen on a monorail track at Hershey Park. All these people was looking like, what the hell finna happen? I was shocked too, like, bruh, you see how high this joint is? Y'all, look at the video. Look at this shit, y'all. He just casually walking.
How'd he get up there?
People looking like they don't even want to look. He might fall. That shit is crazy, boo. He lucky that man came to save him. I got so many questions. First, I gotta know, how the hell did he get up there?
Me too.
Next, I gotta know, where the hell was his parents? Third, I wanna know, where is the staff? Where is the park staff? How did they let this happen? This track was nearly 100 feet in the air, y'all. If he would have failed, he'd have been gone bye-bye. If that dude didn't climb up to get him, how the hell was he gonna get down? So now I gotta ask y'all, who's at fault here? Is it his fault because he got up there somehow? Is it the parents' fault because they wasn't watching him? Or is it the staff fault for allowing this to happen? Is there a loophole? How the fuck did he get up there? I gotta know.
I think that's a multi-layered. I think multiple people are at fault there, bro. Like I said, I don't know how he got up there. I don't know where the parents were and the staff. They were nowhere to be found. Civilians had to come down, had to go up there and save him. So thankfully nothing happened, but that's just like a crazy situation. I'm still trying to figure out how he got up there in the first place. I don't know how he did it.
Is a truly disturbing image. A Mexican TikToker and her family were recently found wrapped in plastic and dumped in their pickup truck. Along with Esmeralda was her husband and 2 children, which were only 7 and 13 years old. In fact, this happened in the same state that TikToker Valeria Marquez was killed in just a few months ago. Now, the family's bodies were found on August the 22nd inside a van that had been abandoned at a mechanic's shop. Police arrested 3 men who were described as the managers of the mechanic shop, but they were later released due to insufficient evidence linking them to the crime. Local media report that those men were then kidnapped after leaving Jalisco's prosecutor's office. According to initial investigations, the attack was not directed at Esmeralda, but rather her husband.
I just know that my eyes
Mexico's
see
crazy.
it, and I'm not looking at stitch meat. First it was cinnamon toast crunch bacon, and now we got alien chops. Ground beef with color added it. Why does meat need color inside of it? Like y'all real life put Sally for Monsters Inc. in the meat grinder. Who is eating this? And if you eat that, don't go to the hospital. You quite frankly ask for whatever is coming towards you. Never in 1,000 years would I have thought that we would be eating Stitch burgers, a Stitch nacho, a Stitch burrito. I just couldn't possibly fathom somebody trying to serve me this. You liable to catch a DDT, a Rey Mysterio 369. And what makes this even worse is that people is actually eating this. What's wrong with people? Y'all let me know in the comments. Would y'all actually eat this Stitch meat? Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. And if you want to learn on how to get paid from posting content like this, comment down below, Hub, and I'm going to send the resources in your DMs. Y'all better not get caught eating the Stitch meat.
The left side of the road is technically the right side to drive on. If you drive on the right, ironically, you've been doing it wrong. Because at first, the entire world rode on the left side, and for a very valid reason. Even way before cars were around, in the time of the Romans, with their horses and chariots, they always kept to the left. The reason being that most people's dominant hand was typically the right, as is still the case today, with only about 10% of the world being left-handed. This was to keep the arm they would hold their sword in free for potential combat and jousting with their neighboring traffic lane, which would have been their right hand attacking the left lane. And it was like this for hundreds of years, albeit with horses and carriages, not cars yet. But then someone came along and was all like, I don't like this. I want everyone to ride on the right from now on. And so he fully changed the rules of road travel because he was left-handed and preferred to ride on the right side so that his left sword hand could be free. That person was Napoleon Bonaparte, that French guy who took over Europe, so that he and anyone who was left-handed could have an advantage in combat during their travels. Some historians will tell you that he wasn't actually left-handed, that Napoleon was just keen on changing centuries-long traditions for the sake of creating a new society, the whole purpose behind his revolution. Either way, he is the one that brought right-hand driving into every place he conquered, which continued into our modern civilized world. Only the United Kingdom, being the French's eternal arch-nemesis, refused to adopt the right-side road travel, which is why even today, they and many other countries which were once British colonies or just influenced by British culture still drive on the left, and the rest of us drive on the the right, because this guy here said so. Disclaimer, please follow the correct driving laws in your country. Don't drive wrong just because you think you're right.
Recently,
never knew that.
This is like the realest, most clearest footage of a UFO. And it's in Mexico. It's clear as day. And it makes the sky light up too.
Yeah, whenever there's aliens, there's always beams.
This is like last week. Just happened. See? Oh, and it's very clear. Yeah. People are wondering, oh, that's a UFO.
That can't be anything else.
But check this out. It's not.
What is it?
Yo, what it actually is, that style of military plane has been abandoned for a long time. That may very well be just a military hovercraft. Just got caught slipping.
So why do you think they put these up there though?
Everything is like a test, right?
That makes sense.
If they're not testing their equipment, yo, a good military hovercraft, we shouldn't be able to detect it.
Exactly.
Because if we can detect it, then it didn't drop it.
They're probably like, oh, this is a test. Someone took a video of it, you guys failed.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that a military aircraft, or was that a UFO seekers? It won't surprise me if that was a craft, bro. Maybe we got some technology, man, that wasn't revealed to the public yet.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, look at that.
We asked where he came from, and he kept saying he walked to Chick-fil-A.
You know where your house is, right, honey?
It's right across the street, right over there.
Okay, cool. You gonna tell us where you live?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that. Say thank you.
Look out for you.
I walked into the back of my patrol car.
Are you gonna get me in jail?
No, I'm not gonna put you in jail. And then we realized that the call box wasn't working. We had no way to get through the gate. How about this?
Jump in the gate.
Morning. Hey, good morning. Hey, you got a son named William?
William.
Yeah, a little boy. Yeah, he was down at Chick-fil-A. Are you kidding me? No, we have him in our police car. You want to come get him? Come on, little man.
He was quiet, which is unusual for him.
Oh, you scared? Why did you go to Chick-fil-A?
You're welcome.
I need y'all to hear me out.
Bro wanted some chick.
Locking in 2025 is here. Whatever goals you have, write them down. But after you write them down, you have to take action. We're going to get as much money as we can get from right now into the year 2026, and then we're going to keep pushing from there. If you're trying to lose weight, get in that gym. Get you a partner. Get dedicated. Whatever you do, do not lie to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, make sure that you do it. And this shit right here is about to be legendary. The reason being, because all the information that we have right now, we cannot lose. We are definitely about to go on a legendary run. Everybody who sees this video, you need to tap in. That dream car, you getting it. That place that you want, you getting it. That partner that you want, you getting it. Another thing, post the content. We not letting no fears hold us back from anything. And like I said earlier, the information is accessible. We have no excuses. You can't say, I don't know about this. You use ChatGPT for everything else. Get those answers. Get shit done. And think about it like this. You have so many people supporting you. All you got to do is click that hashtag. You have so many people that's with you right now. There is no excuse. Lock in. I'm out.
Let's talk about one of the scariest analog horror series ever, The Walton Files. The story centers around a fictional 1970s company called Bunny Smiles Incorporated. BSI runs a children's entertainment venue called Bond's Burgers, featuring, of course, animatronic mascots. But the company hides dark secrets, including missing people, unalived children, and haunted animatronics. And these tapes reveal the cover-up of multiple tragedies, unfolding through distorted training videos. And of course that Five Nights at Freddy's found footage way. And the story follows our main characters, Jack Walton, founder of BSI, who mysteriously disappeared. His daughter Sophia Walton, who suffers from memory loss and has some kind of psychic connection with these animatronics. Felix Kranken, co-founder of BSI and extremely close to Jack, who's been hiding all of the secrets, including possible unalivings. Now here's where the story gets even darker. Susan Woods, Charlie, Ashley, Eddie, and Jenny, all employees of BSI, who all go missing or have been killed, likely by those possessed animatronics, who all appear a part of that corrupt found footage as ghostly figures. Now look, there's a lot more to dig into to the Walton Files, so if you guys want a part 2, drop a like and comment down below part 2, because there's a ton more to the storyline that I definitely could talk about, but I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it yet. Shout out to the original creator for creating the Walton Files, and with all of that being said, guys, drop a like on the video and follow for more.
You were today years old when you found this out, food edition. Number 1, the next time you're at McDonald's, fold down your ketchup pot to make a full-on plate for your fries. It's so helpful. Number 2, the lids of plastic cups at takeaways can actually come down and work as coasters. Check this out. They fit absolutely perfect. And at number 3, microwaves actually have a silent mode. That's right, go to your microwave and hold down the 0, the 1 and the cancel button and it will be as quiet as a mouse.
Never knew that.
You crazy. You are crazy. You are crazy. That man is not wearing a mask. Well, explain all of this. Explain it, explain it, explain it to me. Explain it to me. Just explain it to me. Not explain it to me. Look for yourself. See. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing.
First, they came out and said the Earth core is stopping. Now they are saying that the oceans are going in reverse. What are they really trying to tell us? Anytime they speak about water, they're speaking about money. And when they speak about money, they're speaking about us. So when they say that the oceans are going in reverse, they're trying to say that we are going in reverse. These scientists or elites fucked up our DNA so bad that we forgot where we came from. We don't know who is God, who is the goddess, what to eat, what not to eat, what to do, what is a spirit, what is a soul. We don't know shit. But everything is about to change because when the oceans go in reverse, time moves backwards. We are really in a time jump or a time loop. Time is shifting. So when you read about reports like this, Southern Ocean circulation has reversed. They were trying to let you know that things are going back to the way they're supposed to be. Our reality used to look like this. It was called Pangea, where all the continents was connected. But when the elites came here, they separated our consciousness, therefore the continents was separated. This reality is so simple. Think about it. Whatever the elites tell you to do, just do the opposite. First, we need to understand that the ocean is really deep space. This is an image of an astronaut floating in outer space. Look what he's wearing. This is an image of people in the ocean. Look what they are wearing. It's always truth in plain sight. Open this up. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Remember in the ancient days, they used to hunt down witches and spiritual people? Yes, we were not allowed to speak about spirituality, witches, crystal, sage, incense back in ancient days. But now that the oceans are going in reverse, our spirituality is coming back to us. That's why you hear about more people waking up. This time shift is really important because some of us, we've been here for millions of years, but the other people that control everything, they only been here for about 6,000 years. So now that the planet is going back to the way it used to be millions of years ago, the people that was only created 6,000 years ago, they're about to be wiped out. They don't have no timeline or no future. Why do you think they making artificial intelligence? Think about it. We had some scientists that's telling people that the ocean is going in reverse because of global warming. No. I'm connecting to spirit. But everything they try to do to us, it backfired. It actually connected us more to nature. What will happen when we go back to the dark ages? Check out the ebook, link in the bio.
What's really going on out there in New Mexico, y'all? What is happening? For the third time in less than 1 month, Ruidoso, New Mexico just got hit with a flash flood out of nowhere. Let me show you guys where things started to get really bad. This kid is going out there, right? Now there's a canal right up here, right there, y'all. Y'all see that, right? It started off as a little blissing, just a little bit of rain, y'all. Now check this out. All right, so now this is what the canal looks like now, y'all. Y'all see that?
Damn.
It's starting to break apart. Look at that. Look at this.
Hey, be careful.
Y'all see that now? Y'all notice something? Where's the rain? Where is the rain? Where's this water coming from? Y'all, it gets even crazier. Check this out. There's about to be another push. Watch it. Where's this water coming from? There's about to be another push. You can hear it.
Holy moly!
Where is it coming from?
There is no rain. Here's another video to show you the beginning of the flood. And now 3 minutes in, this. And again, y'all, there is no rain. Where is the rain? Where's the wind? Check out what happens to this jewelry store in real time, y'all. There is so much influx of water that everything just pops up to the top. This is crazy, y'all. I've never seen anything like this. Look how much water is coming, y'all. How is this possible? I'm telling y'all, man, this water is coming from under the ground. All this ice is melting. Look at that, y'all. Hold on, there's about to be another. Look, y'all see that? That's crazy. How much in water is still coming in? If you're wondering, did any houses get lost this time? Yes, just like the last one, y'all. I don't know how these houses just keep getting taken down. This is crazy. There's a great change happening within our planet right now, and the big people who are supposed to be in charge. If you're wondering what this is hell that fell from the sky, y'all. This is hell, y'all. Y'all see those big chunks of ice? That's hell. That's crazy. Something major is happening, man. What do you guys think about this video, man? Please like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here, y'all see it. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
It's crazy. That ain't look like hell.
Come over here. Sure you want me to do this? Yeah, fuck that shit. Go ahead. What y'all gotta say now? You see him? We got the same tattoos, same hair, same genetic structure. Look at my clone. Go ahead. What do you gotta say now? I mean, I'll wait all...
Women in Japan are actually paying to stay in prison. See, Japan's elderly population is skyrocketing, and with it, a shocking trend. There has been a surge in elderly women committing crimes like shoplifting, deliberately to get sent to prison because the loneliness on the outside is so severe. In fact, in the last 20 years, the number of elderly inmates has risen by almost 300%. See, because on the outside, these women often live alone with no family to visit them or financial support to rely on. One inmate interviewed said her 43-year-old son, who she was living with, once said to her, "I don't care when you die, I wish you'd just go away." But now she's behind bars, she has routine, people to speak with, meals, and even medical care. Rather than shouting at them, the guards go as far as changing their diapers, helping them bathe, eat, and even take their medication. One said it now feels more like an elderly home rather than a prison full of convicted criminals. There's some that even say they will pay 20 to 30,000 yen a month just to live there forever. And even though they eat their meals in a cell alone in silence, just knowing that others are around is enough.
I was just about to say that. That doesn't sound like a prison. That sounds like an elderly home. But the fact that they have to go to that extreme just to get there, just so they won't feel alone anymore when their families left them, that's sad, truly.
Here are some of the dumbest crimes committed by children, except each time it gets dumber. A 12-year-old kid in Rockville, Maryland has admitted to police that he sent in at least 7 bomb threats to various schools in his area. And he said that he did it because he knew that he couldn't be charged for it. Which is true, because in Maryland, children under the age of 13 can only be charged for something that falls under a crime of violence. The kid was smart enough to know the law, but dumb enough to call in a bunch of bomb threats for some reason. The kid might actually have a bright future ahead of him. At a theme park in North Carolina, a 13-year-old boy climbed inside of a claw machine to steal one of the toys and got stuck. According to reports, he spent 17 minutes inside of it until someone was able to come pull him out, after which he was banned from the park for a year for attempted theft and being a dumbass. In North Carolina, a 6-year-old boy was arrested for picking flowers from a yard while waiting at a bus stop. The crazy part is he actually had to go to court for destruction of property. The kid's attorney was quoted saying the boy's attention span was so short she had to give him a picture to color during the trial. Thankfully, the case was dismissed, but this happened because North Carolina has one of the lowest minimum ages for criminal charges, and most recently it was just raised to 8 years old. My question is, who the hell is calling the cops on a 6-year-old?
Yeah, who? And the fact that he had to go to court for picking flowers? What's wrong with people, man? This is a kid. You can't let that slide. It's not like you're doing things destructive.
In the world right now. If the Chiefs defeat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, the Eagles' all-time record will be 666 wins and 666 losses. A judge annulled the marriage of a couple after the bride came to the court and said that she only participated in the wedding because she thought it was a social media prank. Another judge sentenced a woman for setting a home on fire with 3 other people in it using Takis tortilla chips. A bank robber was dazed and confused when his getaway bike was stolen. A Texas teenager was accused of using poison to end the life of a rival's competition show goat. A man in Cleveland was quoted saying he's tired of cars running into his house all the time after 3 have crashed in the last 10 years. A man in California was arrested after he told the officer he was the DUI instead of the DD. A woman was rescued after getting caught in an Italian cave for the 2nd time in 2 years. The EU fined the EU for breaking EU data protection law.
Fun facts
What?
you wouldn't believe are true. Godzilla is an actual citizen of Japan. Some species of jellyfish are actually immortal. The patent for a fire hydrant was destroyed in a fire. Outer space is only 62 miles away. You could drive there in an hour. If you flattened your lungs out, they would have about the same surface area as a tennis court. Saturn is the lightest planet. If there was a big enough body of water, it would float. An astronaut spacesuit runs about $12 million. The moon looks close, but you can actually fit every planet in the solar system between the Earth and the moon. In a lab here on Earth, scientists created a plasma that reached a temperature of 9.9 trillion degrees Fahrenheit. Over 50,000 people on Earth have alien abduction insurance policies.
Here are 3
I need to
ways
get
to
on
hack
that.
your body. Number 1, if your arms ever fall asleep, just shake your head like this and it will go away instantly. Number 2, if you ever have a stuffy nose, just hold your breath until you have to breathe again, and this will give you adrenaline, which will clear your sinuses. And number 3, if you ever have to really go to the bathroom but there's no place to go, just scratch the back of your calf as hard as you can. This will actually stall your brain, making it that you forgot you ever had to go.
I need to try that to see if that's actually true.
Facts that I wish I didn't know. When you die, the last thing to go is your hearing. So as all your other mortal sensations are leaving this world, the last thing you're ever going to experience are the sounds going on around you, which very well could be like your family members crying or cheering. By the year 2050, there's going to be more plastic in the ocean than fish. When pigs get a cold, like a cough, very often they will shoot their intestines out of their anus, and farmers have to, like, stuff it back.
What? Heard that about pigs, but I assumed it was cat.
Human
How
body
does
parts
that
that are
happen?
completely useless now. Number 1 is your external ear. Auricular muscles control the visible part of the ear, but humans have lost the ability to control this muscle, and other mammals can move their ears with these muscles in order to detect prey and localize sound. Next is wisdom teeth. About 85% of adults nowadays will have at least 1 wisdom tooth. Our ancestors used to have larger jaws, so wisdom teeth fit better, which is why we get ours removed now, and it was the answer for the need for chewing power that they needed. Next is body hair. Body hair was once required for warmth, and you can see we've lost a lot of it over time. We now have it in a reduced form. Next is your appendix. In plant-eating mammals, the appendix helps digest cellulose, and the appendix might not be completely useless. A recent study found that it helps aid in good gut bacteria. So let's say you have diarrhea and your intestines are flushed out, it provides good bacteria back to your gut after that.
This is the 5th
What do you
scariest
know?
movie according to science. Paranormal Activity, released December 3rd, 2008. Before watching this movie, your beats per minute is around 62. While watching the movie though, it's bumped up to 85, making it a 15% difference in your beats per minute. A woman and a husband move into their dream home in San Diego. Unfortunately, since the woman could remember, she had felt like she had a weird paranormal presence around her. That wasn't good. After the first couple nights of living in the new house and they can't sleep, the husband then sets up a camera in the bedroom, and the things they see, well, I guess you're just gonna have to watch the movie. The movie, as I said, is called Paranormal Activity, and it is supposedly the 5th scariest movie, according to science.
Not for me. I know I don't do scary movies.
If you're celebrating Halloween, you need to know about this movie. This movie was so popular when I was a kid, but I realized a lot of people actually don't know about it. Trick or Treat is a 2007 horror movie that includes 5 different Halloween-themed horror stories. So I'm gonna explain all 5 of them. The first story, called Opening, is about Emma and her boyfriend Henry who go home on Halloween night. Emma blows out a jack-o'-lantern and starts tearing down all their Halloween decorations, not knowing that someone is watching her, and she's just made a terrible mistake. The second story, Principal, begins with Charlie stealing candy from his high school principal's house when trick-or-treating, but then he gets caught by the principal, who seems to be hiding a secret double life. The third story is probably the most well-known, called Halloween School Bus. A group of teens go to a flooded quarry, where one of them tells the group about the urban legend of the Halloween school bus. And in this urban legend, 8 disabled students were unalived by a school bus driver because their parents all asked the school bus driver to get rid of them, as the parents were tired of taking care of them. Then we find out this might not be an urban legend after all. The 4-story surprise party is about a group of women who meet a hooded man dressed as a vampire. This story has a very interesting plot twist that you won't see coming. And the last story, Sam, is about the neighbor of the principal from the second story. And he hates Halloween. But as he walks out of his house, he realizes his entire lawn is full of jack-o'-lanterns. And there's mysterious messages written all over. In this story, it's finally revealed who this creepy pumpkin from the movie poster truly is. Follow for more.
Now, I'm sure we've all fallen asleep before and our arm went to sleep, right? And all you need to do to get rid of it is shake your head from left to right and it'll be gone instantly. Next, if you ever feel the urge to pee really bad but you can't find a restroom anywhere, start rubbing the back of your legs just like this. And in theory, it should just stop the urge instantly, because it'll force your brain to forget about it. And if you're ever enjoying a nice ice cream and you start getting brain freeze, try to warm up your thumb and put it in the roof of your mouth as flat as possible. Apparently, this will make your brain freeze go away instantly. And finally, if like many others you're having troubles falling asleep, try to blink your eyes super fast for 60 seconds, because it'll make your eyes tired, which will make it easier for you to fall asleep.
Just blink. We getting the ultimate life hacks, you know, with these clips. Psychological facts we need to know. The internet. Yeah, stay off the net. That's some good advice. You feel the same way? 3 to 4 a.m.? Really complicated relation. You don't say. Nicest people look mean at first. That's true. I can believe that one. Songs, they do express feelings and emotions, so.
Southeast Oklahoma. On a foggy day in 1970, a group of high school kids are cruising the back roads of Southeast Oklahoma. One of the boys had to pee, so they pulled over. He got out of the truck, walked about 50 yards into the woods so that he couldn't be seen. He heard a tree snap, looked up, and he's staring in the eyes of a creature 3 foot taller than any man. It had matted hair, red eyes, and blood dripping off its chin. The boys ran as fast as they could back to the truck, yelling, "Start the truck, start the truck!" But what happens next is terrifying. The boys go to the sheriff's department, and when the deputy goes out to investigate, all he sees is animal carcasses everywhere, and the legend of the Green Hill Monster was born.
Green Hill Monster? We're gonna have to definitely do some research on that. That's my first time even hearing about that. That's why I watch these clips with you guys, man. Always expand my knowledge base.
It's real, and I'm gonna show you exactly why. It's always the guy with the backwards baseball cap talking about this goofy shit. How's it going? My name's Vinny Santoro. I got a bachelor's of business from UMass Lowell. I like your chain though, dude. No hard feelings. I know a paisan when I see one. I just gotta give you a hard time. Everything grew a lot bigger because of oxygen levels. You should start teaching critical thinking at UMass Lowell. The time when there was more oxygen was like 200 million years ago, and the only thing that got bigger was insects. If this was a tree, the branches would be in like the goddamn troposphere. Does that make any sense? We read about them everywhere. They're in the Bible. They're right. But wait till you hear this. This book is called The Phantom Toll Booth, and in it there's a dog with a clock in it. Liberal media wants you to think this doesn't exist, but it literally says it right there in the book. The Smithsonian, they had their fingers in all of these reports. I love how many conspiracy theorists cite the whole Smithsonian destroyed giant skeletons claim literally originated in 2014 on a satire website. It was literally like The Onion. So you'll get these videos of these conspiracy theorists who are like, yeah, I have my third eye open, I read between the lines, and their source is like fucking Clickhole. This creepy painting is actually some sort of evil apparition. Let's talk about the Rat Queen from the Layers of Fear remake. And of course, spoilers ahead. The Rat Queen also exists in the original versions of Layers of Fear 1 and 2, but we're going to be focusing on the remake.
The Rat Queen appears mostly as a painting in the stories of the painter from Layers of Fear 1 and the actor from Layers of Fear 2. She seems like a malevolent force that rats are drawn to, but it's unclear as to what her intentions are. What's really happening is that in the remake, the writer is writing the stories of the painter and the actor. For those of you not familiar with the series, these are character names. At the beginning of the writer's time living in the lighthouse, she unknowingly enters a pact with the painting of the Rat Queen. And part of that pact is the Rat Queen helping her turn those stories into successful books. However, this comes at a cost, and the writer ended up losing her son as a result of the pact. She returned to the lighthouse to burn the Rat Queen painting, but was met with a surprise. The physical form of the Rat Queen appeared and locked her in the lighthouse forever.
It's a
People are
spooky
freaking out
story.
trying to get the new Lamborghini profile icon, but everyone's getting scammed trying to do it. Over the last few months, there's been loads of profile icons coming out, and now you may have seen this new McLaren one going about. Quite cool, especially compared to some of the other ones we've had, but no one actually knows how to get it. A lot of people were saying that if you just type McLaren in the comment section, it comes up and gives it to you, but it definitely doesn't. But what is the actual way to do it? Well, I'll tell you right now. But first of all, you've got to go over to Tate McRae's page, who, if you don't know, is this person right here. Click on her profile picture and it will come up with this, and you press Get Frame. After that, it will take you to this page, which comes up with her new release of loads of stuff, where then, similar to the Squid Game one, you have to take part in a few challenges, complete these things before you can get it, such as following her, posting a video to the song, and also putting that in the hashtags of the video. Once your video is done, set to public and posted, after you've done this and the video is posted, the frame should just pop up on your page. If it doesn't, just click on your profile picture, go to frames where you can see all of yours, and select this one, and there you go. Scariest.
So I guess that's how people be manipulating the system. Gotta do all that just, and people be doing that just to get an icon of a car on top of their profile. I wonder how many artists does that trick, man. They call it marketing, but could be looking at, you know, as manipulating the market, man. I don't know.
Things ever found in the woods. A biker was in a Colorado forest when he found a metal wire tied across two trees. Soon more bikers began reporting the same thing. Someone had even lost their lives to one of these wires. It seems someone wants to harm bikers for some reason. Police have been looking into this, but so far have not found whoever's doing it. In December 2014, a man heard screaming coming from the woods behind his house.
It's a kid screaming for his dad.
You can hear a girl screaming "Daddy" and an adult voice saying, "Where are you?" The man who heard this said he checked the news every day, but heard nothing about the incident on the news. Some people commented on this, saying it may have been a setup for a kidnapping, but really, we don't know. One day, a Forest Service officer was doing a routine patrol of a trail in Utah. That's when he noticed a tripwire tied between two trees. He followed the wire, and it led him to this. A ball made of rocks and sharpened sticks, which was set to fall when the tripwire was hit. That was bad enough, but he soon found another trap on the same trail. A tripwire pulled tight, which would cause people to fall into a bed of sharpened sticks. Police began investigating this, which led them to two men, Benjamin Rodkowski and Quay Christensen. They claimed the traps had been set for animals, but the police did not believe this. The two men were later sentenced to 30 days in jail.
Just 30 days? These are some Rambo crap. Just 30 days? That ain't enough. Saw that dragonfish? That always blows my mind, man, when we go like under the sea, and we just find new creatures. I'm pretty sure the
Here are
dragonfish
6
ain't
facts that sound completely fake but are 100% true. I can pretty much guarantee you one of these will be the coolest thing you've heard all day. Firstly, Picasso was alive at the same time as Eminem and Charles Darwin. Let that sink in for a second. What? Stonehenge was a tourist attraction for ancient Romans. The can opener wasn't invented until 48 years after the can. I mean, what? I imagine a lot of you enjoy eating oysters. I absolutely fucking do not. So might you after this fact. I'm so sorry. Oysters are always served to you alive. They only die when they go down your gut. I mean, that's just What? If you shuffle a deck of cards, it is statistically likely that you've shuffled them in an order that has never existed before and will never exist again. Essentially, you were the first person in history to shuffle them in that exact sequence. Oh, and while we're on the topic of just what the fuck, there are more ways to play a game of chess than there are atoms in the observable universe. And if you type this into the comments, you unlock a secret TikTok emoji. Okay, that's enough wine for the day. Everyone with me?
Really?
Let's talk about a disturbing horror game that left me with more questions than answers. I Live Under Your House. Full game playthrough on my channel. This entire game is an enigma. You play as an unnamed creature that we never get to see. The only thing we know about your character is that they live underground beneath modern human civilization. You don't like leaving your tunnels, you don't want to go to the surface. But in this game, you have to. Loud construction work occurring directly above you causes you to investigate the surface, and you end up coming face to face with the human couple. The main hook of the gameplay is the amazing art style and trying to figure out what exactly you are. And the ending of this game, as well as its DLC, were certainly not what I expected.
So check that out. I think I could check out some scary
This is genuinely
games.
one of the most disturbing videos I have ever seen. It is the final footage that was found of a man who got lost in the Paris catacombs. In the 90s, a group of explorers were going through the catacombs of Paris, and they were getting pretty deep in there when they found a camera that was just abandoned. And upon reviewing the footage, they realized that it was from a man who was exploring down there, but he got lost. Watching the footage is incredibly chilling because he's picking up bones and skulls while he's exploring, but there's a point where either he hears something or he sees something and he begins running. He's running frantically and you can hear his breath getting louder and louder and louder. There's points where he doesn't know which way to turn, and finally, as he's running, he drops the camera. Based off of the paintings that people were able to see in the footage and the testimony of the people who found the camera, this man was insanely deep underground in the catacombs. He was really far into the uncharted sections. And you may have heard of the film As Above, So Below, the movie that was actually inspired by this footage. As Above, So Below is a found footage horror movie about a group of people going into the Paris catacombs trying to find a hidden chamber to find the Philosopher's Stone, the secret to eternal life, but they actually end up going into the layers of hell. And the creators of this film saw this found footage from the 90s and it inspired them to make their own movie. So As Above, So Below is based on a true story. I'm doing a whole episode over on my pod Frightful Fandom talking about the history of the catacombs, what they were used for, this very unfortunate true life case, and of course As Above, So Below.
Here are 10 creepy, disturbing, and scary facts you didn't know. Part 2. Today's high school students have the same anxiety levels as insane asylum patients had in the 1950s. Until 1974, it was illegal to appear in public in the city of Chicago if you were ugly. During the early 1990s, a serial killer named Joseph Metheny owned a burger stand located in Baltimore, Maryland. After his arrest in 1996, he confessed to feeding his customers the flesh of at least 3 humans he had murdered. A new homeowner was shocked to find a rag doll boarded up in a wall cavity, clutching a note saying she killed a family. In 1977, we received a radio signal from space that lasted 42 seconds. To this day, we still don't know where that signal came from. The movie The Hills Have Eyes was based on the true story of the Bean Clan, a Scottish family who would secretly ambush, kill, and eat travelers for 25 years. In 1957, 2 sisters, Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock, were killed in a tragic car accident. A year later, their mother gave birth to twins, Jennifer and Jillian. Then it gets weird. Jennifer, the younger twin, had scars and birthmarks on her body that were identical to Jacqueline's, the deceased younger sister. The twins began to ask for toys that had belonged to the deceased girl, toys they had no knowledge of. Albert Fish, an American serial killer, boasted that he killed in every state and claimed to have had over 100 victims. What makes him even more sickening is that he sent letters to his victims' parents to tell them how good their children tasted. A man named Francesco Lentini had 3 legs, 4 feet, 16 toes, and 2 sets of functioning male genitals. He worked for a circus and lived until the age of 78. In 2011, Anatoly Yurovich was arrested after 12 dolls were found in his apartment. However, they weren't regular dolls. They were recently deceased little girls that he had dug up, dressed up, and displayed. Like for part 3.
Don't do not know what will be going through people's mouths.
Here's how rare your body actually is.
Talk about
First off, 10% of people can touch their nose
nose with their tongue, including me. Next, only 2% of people worldwide actually have natural blonde hair, and red hair is just as rare, with again only 2% of people actually having it. Only about 1% of people are ambidextrous. This means that you're not right-handed or left-handed. You can write with both hands just as easily.
Lucky.
Next, only 10% of people have something called Darwin's tubercle. A little ridge on your ear, and people who have it actually say that they have a better sense of voice tonality. 5% of people have tied tongue, but from what I've seen, I thought it was a lot more common. Next is outie belly button, and only 4% of the population actually has this. And finally, only 6% of people have a butt or cleft chin. And make sure you follow for more.
Pictures you have to look at twice to understand. This toothpaste looks like a nose. Yeah, I wouldn't use that. This person's fried egg ended up looking like a chickadee. Whoa. This girl looks like she has extremely skinny legs, but it's actually just her track pants. This magazine cover looks like this woman's face. Oof. It looks as if these people are on a really tall building, but if you turn the image sideways, they're actually just lying down. By the way, did you know you can customize the font on your phone to make it look like your handwriting? Just press this button on my profile and try it. Why do these steaks look like my runners? Now that's what you call fast food.
Really? Pictures tell a story, man.
What would you do in this situation? This girl was coming home from work when she found her neighbors doing this.
I don't know if I can visit Mexico.
What are they doing?
Why? Bro, they have the scariest urban legends.
For real?
Yeah, they got La Chuza, which is a shape-shifting witch that looks like an owl and is 7 feet tall with the face of a woman. And you're not supposed to go outside if you hear whistling in your window.
What else?
Oh, and La Llorona. She usually stays near bodies of water. She wears a white gown, long hair, and she's always crying for her children that she actually drowned. So you're next if you see her while driving on the side of the road.
Oh my god.
There's like this abandoned Disney park in Veracruz, Mexico.
What about it?
It has a statue that moves at night. There was 2 people exploring the abandoned park and caught it on video. Fam, you gotta check this out.
No, aguanta, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey, eso no se
Dog locked in.
No digas perras mamadas, no digas mamadas. Güey, es que era el vestido también así, güey. Amarillo.
And it's static, frozen. I'm good on Mexico.
But they do have beautiful women.
You're right, we might have to risk it.
Oh, really? Well, Killer Views that the dog was locked in and watching the clips, bro. Even the dog man is seeking the
truth too.
This is
the ugliest woman in the whole world. That is the sad, unofficial title this woman received in the 1900s. Her name is Maryanne Bevan, and this is her story. She was born in London in 1874 to a middle-class family, and in 1894 she became a nurse. She married Thomas Bevan in 1903, but only 3 years later she was struck by a rare disease that doctors didn't know much about. The hormonal disease is known as acromegaly, which affects the bones. This causes the bones to grow 2 to 3 times more than normal, and usually only affects the hands and feet. But her case was severe, and it affected her whole body. As you can tell by the photos, her appearance changed drastically in just a few years. Her husband, although confused about what was happening to his wife, stuck by her side until he tragically died of a stroke in 1914, and she was left to raise 4 children alone. Her disease even caused her to lose her job, but she was determined to do what she had to for her children. She was forced by her predicament to join a contest, which was the ugliest woman in the world, where she won first prize. The media would pay her small amounts to take photos and write horror stories about her. Honestly, she should have won Best Mother in the World award for doing all this for her children. Due to all the media attention, she was actually invited to work at the Dreamland Circus on Coney Island in 1920. For 13 years, she worked in the freak show business, suffering being called a monster, a freak, being beaten up, all to watch her children grow. On December 26, 1933, she died of natural causes.
Hey man, like you said, they called her the world's ugliest woman, man. She was the world's best mother, man, from what I was hearing. She did all that for her kids. The world, man, can be a cruel place sometimes. You know, everybody's beautiful in their own ways. Just can't look at the looks, man. You gotta look inside.
How rare is your body? Less than 6% of people can vibrate their eyes. I didn't even know that was possible. 33% of people have an astigmatism. This makes lights look blurry and fuzzy, just like this photo. And 60% of people can make a roaring noise with their jaw. They can control a muscle that most people can't. And 14% of people don't have a palmaris longus. And that's the muscle that sticks out like this when you flex your hand. And only 33% of people can whistle. I can you? And less than 3% of people have an X on both of their palms. Go look at your palms right now. Do you have them? It's said to be a sign of strong character. And only 11% of people have naturally curly hair. Is this you?
Scary things hidden in photos.
Yeah, me.
Urban Legends That Ended Up Being Real, Part 20.
Crazy.
Escalante Petrified Forest. It's known for its ancient, fossilized trees and otherworldly landscapes, and the park actually attracts visitors from around the world. But those who visit are often warned of a chilling curse that is said to happen to anyone who dares to take pieces of petrified wood from the forest. There have been letters sent to the park's rangers that tell stories of broken lives, sickness, accidents, and relentless bad luck, all because of taking pieces of petrified wood. In these letters, desperate people beg for forgiveness, hoping that returning the stolen fragments will lift the curse. One chilling story comes from a man named Daniel, who visited the Escalante Petrified Forest in 2015. Ignoring the warnings, he pocketed a small piece of petrified wood as a keepsake. Soon after returning home, his life took a dark turn. Within weeks, he lost his job, his car was totaled in an accident, and he was plagued by strange noises at night, scratching sounds, whispers, and the feeling of being watched. Desperate to end the torment, Daniel mailed the wood back to the park along with a letter pleading for forgiveness. He swore as soon as the package was sent, the strange occurrences stopped happening.
This teen and her boyfriend murdered her father because he didn't approve of their relationship. 16-year-old Sierra Halseth and 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero started dating in June 2020 to December 2020 until Sierra's father found out that the two wanted to run away to LA, so he told Sierra to stop seeing Aaron. Obviously, Sierra and Aaron were not too happy about this, and on April 2021, the couple decided to murder Sierra's father, Daniel Halseth. On this day, Sierra and Aaron stabbed Daniel 70 times and then left his body in his garage to burn. They then stole Daniel's car and withdrew hundreds of dollars from his bank account. They tried to run away together but then were caught by authorities 4 days later at a train station in Salt Lake City. And what's chilling is the video evidence that police found on Sierra's phone of both of them laughing about murdering Sierra's father.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. After your dream, day 3 after marrying somebody.
The teens claim that Sierra's father mistreated her and that's why they did what they did. But her family says that that's a lie and that she did this because she wanted to be with Aaron and her father didn't let her. But eventually they pleaded guilty and were sentenced to life in prison with a possibility of parole in 22 years.
Man, the things love will do, bro, will like twist your mind and make you do unthinkable things. And they put that on camera and they was laughing too. What has this world come to, Seekers, man? Think before you act.
The man you just saw in that video was Andrew McAuley. Before he disappeared, Andrew was a pretty well-known mountaineer and kayaker. In his life, Andrew fell in love with the sport of kayaking, and he became very well known in the sea kayaking community because he would set off solo on his small kayak and travel great distances across the ocean. But his biggest goal in life and challenge was to cross the Tasman Sea. Andrew made his first attempt to cross the Tasman Sea in December of 2006. But he called it off after one night when he discovered that he was having trouble staying warm while sleeping in the kayak overnight. But on January 11th, 2007, he wanted to try again. But it was during this voyage that he would vanish into thin air. So he set off on January 11th, but on February 9th, Andrew sent out a distress call. In this call, he said, "Do you copy? This is Kayak 1. Do you copy? Over. I've got an emergency situation. I'm in a kayak about 30 kilometers from Milford Sound. I need a rescue. My kayak's sinking, fell off into the sea, and I'm going down."
Oh.
It's really eerie because if you search Andrew's name, a couple of blog posts pop up that people made in the days after he was declared missing, with headlines that read along the lines of, "Let's hope he is all right." Andrew's partly flooded kayak was discovered on February 10th floating in the sea, but Andrew was never found. Eerily, his camera was still left in the kayak, along with the memory stick that chronicled his journey up until the time that he went missing. That's what the recordings from the beginning of this TikTok were taken from. To this day, nobody knows exactly what happened to Andrew. There are theories about killer waves that came out of nowhere, but his body's never been recovered, and no trace of him, no bones, no clothing has ever been found.
Here are some things that look like food, but sadly are not. Now make sure you don't eat this popcorn because they're actually tiny rocks and that could break your teeth. And no, these are not jelly beans, these are also rocks. And don't be fooled by this one, that is not orange juice. I'm sure you can take a guess what it is. And don't eat this raspberry or you'll be going straight to the hospital. It's actually a poisonous bug. And no, they're not noodles, they're actually rubber bands. I can't be the only one who thought this was a piece of broccoli. A nice baguette. Just kidding, that's a cat. And this person took a bite out of this clay thinking it was chocolate. Ew.
Crazy facts you
Whoa,
won't believe.
what the heck?
Humans share 50% of their DNA with bananas. There's a planet made of diamonds in our galaxy. There's more stars in the universe than grains of sand on every place in Earth. Bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. Imagine having facts like this delivered to you every day. I found this app called Nibble, and it's a great way to dive into quick, fun lessons on any topic you can imagine. From art to science to finance, Nibble's got it all covered in bite-sized lessons. With Nibble's 10-minute interactive lessons, you'll learn much faster. It's like my personal knowledge hack I use to learn things quickly. So if you want to learn things fast, try out Nibble today and learn in a different way.
Because of this case, I absolutely fear getting onto public transit. In 2008, Vince Lee beheaded 22-year-old Timothy McLean on a Greyhound bus in Manitoba, Canada. This all happened on July 30th of that year when Vince sat next to Tim on the bus from Winnipeg to Edmonton when Vince pulled out a knife and began repeatedly stabbing Tim. The bus driver and passengers ran out of the bus, called police, and watched as Vince decapitated, mutilated, and cannibalized Tim. When the police arrived, it took 5 hours to negotiate with Vince, and they eventually arrested him when he tried to escape from the bus. The crazy part about this case is that Vince was not held responsible for Tim's murder. He was first charged with second-degree murder, but he pleaded not guilty because he suffered from schizophrenia. Vince said that he heard voices in his head that told him that Tim was evil and he should be executed. The judge ordered Vince to be sent to a psychiatric facility and he was released in 2017. He now lives in Manitoba and has changed his name to Will Lee Baker. And the public was pretty upset about this because they feared that if he decided to stop taking his meds one day, will he attack again?
I ain't taking Greyhounds. I'm gonna have to cross that off the list, but we're gonna be extra careful. And he got away with, he got off too?
Top 5 most expensive houses in the world. Fort Belfield Pond, USA, $248 million. The Odeon Tower Penthouse, Monaco, $330 million. Villa Leopolda, France, $750 million. Antillia, India, $1 billion. Buckingham Palace, UK, $2.9 billion. We might not own these mansions, but what if you could clear up everything in your living room and start fresh in seconds? Let me show you the magic of Color.ai. You just upload a picture of your living room, click generate and watch the AI work its magic. And boom, your room is completely cleared and ready with a fresh and amazing new look. And just like that, in minutes you have a completely transformed space without lifting a single piece of furniture. Perfect for someone who's moving into a new space or home sellers who don't have a budget for a real staging service. Want to see how your home can be transformed? Try Color.ai and try your dream space today. Link in my bio.
Worst design fails ever.
Okay.
Someone didn't want to sell a piece of their land to the city, which is why this road looks like this. This part of the ceiling comes down low and it looks really awkward. I would not want to use this toilet. It's a tight squeeze. Okay, someone literally cut out a huge part of this floor just so the door can open. What is going on here? This side of the gas pump has never been used, probably because there's no room for any car except maybe a motorcycle. Hit the plus for more.
That motorcycle one, bro, it's crazy. Why did they? You could make it like that. That's definitely a design flaw. And the one with the carpet, you know, swinging out. But having to cut the carpet, that's extreme, bro. Just change the door or something bad. That's an edit. We can see that. And spending 2 big
Fascinating
theories
facts that
down
you didn't
below.
know. In the 1870s, William Shanks spent 15 years of his life calculating pi to 707 places by hand. However, the last few years were wasted as he made a mistake after the 527th digit. The Nanga Parbat is the only mountain taller than 8,000 meters whose maiden summit was done solo. The climber, Herman Buell, did so by taking methamphetamine and reaching the summit after a 19-hour-long climb from his camp. Paul Stanley of the rock band Kiss was born half-deaf with level 3 microtia, leaving him without an ear canal in his right ear. In 2005, Doug Heckman read the EULA before he installed some PC software. The agreement included a clause offering financial compensation to licensees who actually read the license agreement. He emailed the company, and the company sent him a check for $1,000.
5 facts you didn't know that one day could save your life. If your car ever falls into a body of water, the first thing you have to do is crack open a window or door. If you don't do this, the water pressure on your car will be too great and you'll be effectively boxed inside your car. You'll have to wait for your car to fully fill with water before you can get out. Next, if you're trapped in rubble, do not scream. Screaming will only strain your vocal cords and cause you to lose your voice. What you're going to want to do is grab an object and tap in intervals of 3. Rescuers will pick up on this auditory rhythm, and once you hear them coming closer to you, then you can start screaming and they'll find you. If you see a tornado that looks like it's not moving, it's coming towards you, so you better run. If you ever get into an Uber, always check the child lock. Make sure it's set to unlock, because if the child lock is on, you're stuck in the car with no way out. Finally, if you ever fall onto the tracks at a subway station, don't waste your time trying to climb back out. They actually have crawl spaces built into the subway tracks that you can hide in until rescuers come and safely extract you.
That Uber fact, man, it just got to me. I think I've gotten to a couple of Ubers and they had the child lock on, and I didn't even think too much about it. Now I'm about to be on my P's and Q's now.
Months back, I went to a film festival and I watched a movie that I can't stop thinking about, and the release date is so soon. It's been in my top horror movies of 2024, and I have a little sneak peek, and I can't wait for you guys to see.
What do you want? You're in trouble. I saw you come out of the house just now. You went to the car to get something. You left this door open behind you. Somebody went inside. What? I saw you go to your car and you left the door open. Somebody slipped inside. They're in there now. I didn't see anyone. I know that. Your back was turned. What are you doing standing outside my house? Just open the door. I'm trying to help you.
You opening that door? Risky choice.
He sat grinning on national television, pleading for his wife to come home. He was the one who had murdered her and dismembered her body. Some people felt sorry for 25-year-old Mitchell Quay as he sat on the sofa on the This Morning TV show. He was being interviewed by Richard Madeley and really scrutinised. He was asked by Richard Madeley, "Did you kill her?" Mitchell, grinning, replied, No, I just wish someone would listen to me." Some eagle-eyed viewers couldn't help but to think that something was off with this so-called grieving husband. Lindsay and Mitchell from Southport had got married in 1995. Lindsay was just 17 years old at the time. Now, the pair went on to have 2 children together, and Lindsay was a great mum. Despite things seeming normal to the outside world, behind closed doors, Mitchell was a violent man. Lindsay had even got the courage to leave Mitchell a number of times and seek help from a women's domestic violence support service. However, Mitchell was extremely intimidating and manipulative. The pair ended up back together, and then around Christmas 1998, the mother of two vanished. It would take an entire 2 months before she was actually reported missing, and this wasn't by her husband. Social services had to get police involved. Suddenly, Mitchell was under the spotlight, and police were questioning him about the last time he'd seen his wife. He claimed he hadn't seen her since Christmas Day. He told them that she'd just upped and left him without any consideration for their children. This really didn't fit what Lindsay's friends and family knew of her. He painted this sob story of himself being a victim, and he also told the press, "I thought she would have come back for the kids, but she obviously does not care about us anymore." He knew this was a vicious lie. He even went as far as to concoct a story to authorities that he'd once seen her in a black Mercedes in Southport, and she'd sent him a letter saying that she'd run off with another man. The police knew that Mitchell was extremely suspicious. He was seen kind of grinning and didn't seem to be acting the way that you actually would if your wife had vanished. They had no way, though, to prove that he was involved in his wife's disappearance. Over the next 18 months, Mitchell almost went on this strange publicity spree, going on different TV shows talking about the case. It seemed like he was enjoying the attention and goading police. Now, Mitchell sent one police officer a Christmas card with a bottle of hair dye as a gift. He put on the card, "Get rid of the grey bits to have extra confidence." Mitchell even allowed a documentary crew to follow him around filming to create some sort of show. Ultimately, police realised that they were going to have to interrogate Mitchell. They ended up arresting him, and after a couple of days of interrogation, he ended up admitting to the hideous crime. He'd callously and brutally strangled his wife to death. This was after they got in an argument because Lindsay said she wanted a divorce. Once she was dead, he hid her body in a bedroom and covered the cracks in the door so that her children wouldn't smell the body. Chillingly, Mitchell had actually convinced his butcher brother Elliot to help him dismember her body. Mitchell then scattered her body parts over various parts of the seaside town. Elliot was given 7 years in prison but only spent 4 years behind bars. Mitchell was given 17 years and has applied for parole numerous times, but this is...
Angels in the sky in Florida?
Watch this.
Never
Break it
seen
down.
something like this.
What are those?
There's like tens of thousands of these reflective objects in the air. I thought they were birds at first, but looking closer, it's literally just these reflective objects.
Definitely not birds, y'all.
What is this?
Are they UFOs? Are they angels?
Those ain't birds.
Somebody let me know in the comments. Stay weird.
It's all coming through here, so I'm gonna get out of here.
I know it may be hard to believe when people use terminology such as "there's a glitch in the Matrix," but the following video that I'm about to share with you might just be a glitch in the Matrix. 2 moons appeared over Chicago. You heard what I said. 2 moons appeared over Chicago.
2?
But that's not the craziest part of the video. 1 moon actually shifts from the right side to the left side. Take a look at the video. There's the 2 moons right there. Keep an eye on the moon as it shifts.
Oh, I shifted.
Watch in slow motion. Goes from the right to the left.
4K.
That's not normal. When the video begins, there are 2 moons. The moon on the right shifts over to the left. I have no explanation as to what just happened. Can you explain to me what you think just happened? And if you were in Chicago and witnessed this, hit me up in the comments and let me know what you saw, and share photos, please. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Look at some crazy things happening in the world right now. Elon Musk now controls over 65% of all satellites that are orbiting the Earth right now. A new survey came out saying that nearly half of all parents, or 47%, admit to only staying together for their kids. 2 inmates conceived a healthy baby without even meeting. They used an air vent, bedding line, and a yeast infection applicator. Can't deny that that was creative. An airplane departing Shanghai was delayed 5 hours after an elderly woman tossed coins into the jet engine for good luck. Flowers in Antarctica are starting to bloom, and experts are saying that that is not good news. Meta is going crazy and offering tons of money to top AI people and offered someone $1.25 billion for one person. I think that's about what LeBron has earned in his entire career, if that, from a salary. And he said no. You said no to $1 billion just to have a job somewhere.
Proves, man, money can't buy happiness. See, because if somebody offer you $1.25 billion for a job, you taking it?
We have officially entered the world's second space race. Because according to documents obtained by Politico, NASA's acting administrator will soon announce plans for the US to fast-track their launch of a nuclear reactor to the moon. Now, apparently their reason for moving up the timeline is because NASA desperately wants to beat China and Russia, who have actually teamed up to launch their own nuclear reactor on the moon. And the thing is, whoever establishes their reactor first, well, they will have first dibs to declare what's known as a keep-out zone. And that will essentially limit what other countries can do nearby on the lunar surface. But America doesn't like keep-out zones, on Earth or in space, unless it's called the southern border. So, with the China-Russia project only meant to launch in 2035, the USA said, aight, let's run it by 2030. And even a senior NASA official whose identity was kept anonymous was reported saying it is about winning the second space race. Now, you'll be happy to hear this nuclear reactor isn't for starting Universe War 1. In fact, according to NASA themselves on those same documents, it will, quote, lay the groundwork to be able to support a future lunar economy for high-powered energy generation on Mars and to strengthen national security in space. There it is. My bad. Guess I'll catch you on the lunar front lines.
In 2014, a man named Lars Mittank ran out of the airport saying, "I don't want to die here, I have to get out of here." He sprinted into the woods, left all his belongings behind, and he was never found again. This happened in 2014, 11 years ago, and nothing has been found. None of his friends or family even heard from him again. He completely disappeared. A few days before he's supposed to fly, he got into a bar fight because of some rivalry going on with some sports teams. The guys ended up rupturing his eardrum, and the doctor over there said he should not fly at all. So his friends decided to leave without him. That left him alone there. His behavior took a very dramatic turn. He started acting paranoid right away. He texted his mom, "What should I do? ? Cancel my credit cards," and then that he's being followed. He also checked into a cheap hotel one night and then left in the middle of the night claiming somebody was trying to kill him. Did the medications the doctor give him, cause him to go under psychosis as a side effect and have hallucinations? Was he just, shook up and had PTSD from that fight he got into at the bar? Or did he know something? We're never gonna know though. Human remains were found near this Bulgarian airport in 2025, so this year. However, they were not identified to be Lars Mittank's remains. Like I said, he has never been seen or heard from ever again after this. This was the last known image of him on the surveillance camera footage. What do you guys think happened here? Let me know.
Weird. Just told us the real reason that Duke Dennis was arrested in San Antonio, Texas, and this is not going to end well for Duke Dennis. So if you guys saw this video of Duke Dennis getting arrested at a mall in San Antonio, Texas, it was from this past weekend when Quay and the AMP team entered a mall to play a big game of hide and seek, and things went so much more worse than anybody could have ever expected. They rented out the mall to play the game of hide and seek, and after the mall was closed, and in this video you can literally see the cops manhandling Dookie Dennis. A lot of people thought that this was a publicity stunt to promote their video, but this was literally more realer than anything, because Dookie Dennis even had to have a $1,000 bail set on him, and it left people wondering what was he even arrested for. And now Quay has finally broken his silence, and this is even more insaner than I could have ever expected, as Quay literally broke down in tears on stream. And while Dookie was getting arrested, I was literally sitting upstairs wondering what was going on. Oh my god, let's take a moment to appreciate how good Dookie Dennis looks in this pic. According to the state of San Antonio, it was criminal trespassing and evading arrest.
Here's some of the... He keeps calling him Dookie Dennis. I'm about to say, if they rented out the mall, so why did they even arrest Duke? I'm about to say, he said Kyle broke down on stream, but I mean, he was right there, so obviously he saw what happened, but I don't know why, man, they locked up Duke Dennis. Especially if they rented a mall. I don't get the point.
Most disturbing things found in food. Part 2. If you are eating or have a weak stomach, please skip or proceed with caution. In 2016, a man films himself opening a Capri Sun after his 4-year-old said the juice wouldn't come out. This is what he found.
Okay.
The 4-year-old was trying to drink it, and this is what it's inside.
What is that?
Nasty. Well, what is it? Looks like mold.
Sadly, this isn't the only incident to occur. Many other videos show people opening up their own Capri Suns to find the same thing or worse hidden within the pouch.
Mold?
So next time you go to drink one, make sure you check the bottom to make sure no surprises await you.
Still behind me is one of the most terrifying photos from any found footage case I've ever come across. There's this place in South Dakota called Deadwood that has a very unsettling urban legend. What used to be this old mining town has this really sinister lore that there is something deep in the woods that is very wrong. According to the story, there is a bunker. Rumors around this circulated in the early 2000s about the dark web being connected to this hidden bunker or this cell, saying that there was some kind of pay-for-play cam feed of torturous things going on inside the bunker. But then in 2010, somebody in the woods of Deadwood claimed to find the opening to the bunker. They only got limited photos, and they described it as kind of like a cell that had been completely cleared out that had 1 to 2 hallways to another room. But the creepy part was the alleged DVD that they found. Turned over to police, there is only 4 seconds of footage on this DVD, which is where this image came from, but look to the background for something else.
I find this video hella creepy that got Cynthia Erivo in it. Y'all, I don't know if I'm tripping. I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me. But if it's not, this is the second time I done seen her hands grow on camera, fool. Before I show y'all the video, look at her hands right here. Y'all see her hands ain't too big. Even with them long ass nails, it's not too long. On this video, when she's playing Jesus on stage, she's singing, and I swear her hands got longer, fool. Nigga, this shit creeped me out. This shit crazy, fool. Y'all watch the video.
Let's check it out.
Watch the hands, fool. Look at it. Did y'all see it? No? Hold up, I'ma slow it down.
Okay.
Look at the hands, y'all. Tell me I'm not tripping. Am I tripping? Am my eyes deceiving me? That shit look crazy, fool. Now, you can honestly say on that video, her hands look way longer than what it is on this picture, right?
Yeah.
He agree to that? Or am I tripping on that part too? I need y'all thoughts down below in the comments. Let me know if y'all seen the same shit I seen. And also, make sure you share and like this video. And if you stay to the end, drop an A in the comments. Let me know.
She saw her 2 old dogs that passed away, playing in the afterlife. A young woman named Julie posted a heartwarming clip on TikTok of her 2 dogs playfully running around the living room. But what her viewers didn't know was that her 2 dogs sadly passed away over 2 years ago.
They caught him on camera? Ghost cam?
It seems like Julie's pets are still having fun together, even in the afterlife.
Flyover, the world's first and last fully underwater water slide at Den Rel Amusement Park in the Netherlands, constructed in 1994 and ceasing operation in 2003. During the duration of the slide, riders were completely submerged in water. Yeah, there is a water slide in the Netherlands where you're completely submerged during the water slide. I drowned just looking at this photo. This is the entrance of it as seen in the picture previously. This is a picture of the entire water vat that pumps into here. This is, as someone that has a phobia of pools, I make content about this all the time, you're not surprised. This is disgusting. Watch this video and let me know what you're thinking. This would give me a major panic attack. Like, I could why? Why would you ever do this?
Water slide, but you're completely submerged underwater. I mean, you better hurry up and get out of there, man. Gotta be a good swim.
In all my time on this planet, I have never saw this many floods happen back to back. So in India, a village just got dismantled from a flood. And they're claiming this flood happened because of a cloudburst. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Okay.
Look at this shit right here. Look at how that water is coming down. And when I say the whole town might be gone, the whole town may be gone. Have you ever seen anything like this? And they're saying that happened from something called a cloudburst, which I've never heard of before. So I had to jump down that rabbit hole and see exactly what that was. And let me tell you this, that shit is scary. Matter of fact, look at this.
This isn't a harmless drizzle, it's a cloudburst.
Whoa.
Where the sky dumps thousands of liters of water in seconds. These storms are so powerful they can wipe out roads, destroy houses, and sweep away anything in their path.
So from this disaster, they're saying at least 50 people were missing. But it might be more than that. You saw the video, and you saw how all of that water took away all of those houses. Now tell me if you've ever seen anything like that before. Tell me if you've seen a whole village get swept away before. I'll wait. And again, this is another flood to add on the floods that just happened. What's going on? What is God trying to say? I'm out.
I don't know.
Interesting. I can't remember what he talked about in the last time I was here, but I think the game Pac-Man is about the moon.
That's a good theory. I love it.
I think it's about the moon. If you study Pac-Man when it closes his mouth, what does it look like? Exactly like the moon. What does it do? There are old beliefs that the moon is an energy eater, a soul eater, and that the theory is that, you know, when you die, you go into this light, and basically you see all your dead relatives, but they're really archons trying to convince you to come back into it because we're kind of batteries for this reality. Right?
Okay.
So if you study Pac-Man, what does Pac-Man do? He's eating
Eat the ghosts.
Dots that look like stars, right?
Run away from
Eats
ghosts.
the dot, and he runs away from ghosts, but when he eats that one dot, what does he do? He eats the ghost, and what happens to the ghosts? They get reborn.
Interesting. I'm all in on this. This is great. This is so funny.
All these video games have very esoteric meanings to it. I think Super Mario is basically man, like the study of man, like the journey of man. Man, you know, if you study Donkey Kong, he shows up. His whole job is like to keep his chick and get the job done. So he saves her. He does the job. Now he gets a promotion. He's outside. He eats some mushrooms. Next thing you know, he's in Super Mario Kart, and all things are possible.
Did Nicolas Cage build a cursed pyramid tomb in order to break a voodoo curse? In 2007, he bought one of the most haunted homes in America, the LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans. Yes, Kathy Bates' character, Delphine LaLaurie from American Horror Story, that girl. Madame Delphine LaLaurie enslaved and tortured hundreds of people in the 1800s. This home is drenched in blood, history, and supernatural lore. And Nicolas Cage thought it would be a great place to buy and write a horror novel in. But almost immediately after buying it, things started to go wrong. He started having very intense nightmares. He was hearing whispers in the house. He said that he was feeling like he was being watched. And then in 2009, there was a foreclosure, and he lost the mansion, but he also lost all these other properties. He lost $6.8 million worth of properties. People believe that because he bought that house, he then got cursed, and that's why he lost all those other properties. Now here's where it gets wild. There was a psychic that he met with who told him that the curse could only be broken if he was buried near the voodoo queen Marie Laveau. Except she was buried in a cemetery that was completely full, like they had no space. But since Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage, he talked to the curse, and they made room for this 9-foot tall white pyramid tomb. It's just a couple feet from Laveau. It has this Latin phrase on it that means everything from one. It was also advised to put that on his tomb. It's almost like he was begging the afterlife for mercy. After that, everything started to look up again in his life. Let me know if you think he was cursed, and follow for more.
See, I never get the point of when people trying to buy like Chrisologist, Chris House and stuff like that. It's just like, it's too much bad energy to even mess around with. It ain't worth the risk, man. It's a crazy theory, though.
See one of these hanging from someone's bag, run. Oh, sorry, I meant these. Turns out they might be kinda demonic, so this is everything you need to know about the Labubu demon theory in 1 minute. These collectible toys called Labubus have been going crazy viral after a few celebrities were seen hanging them off their purses, and so everyone wanted one. They are these weird stuffed creatures with sharp teeth, evil grins, and angry-looking eyes that can also be red. Not suspicious at all, right? Then many people came out online saying weird shit started happening right after they bought theirs. Stories of objects moving around their house, waking up with scratches, getting sick, and
experiencing chest pains. One girl claimed she saw the eyes change color and this smile get wider. Another got in a car accident shortly after buying one. Either way, everyone just felt a creepy, unsettling presence around these toys for some reason. Well, now similarities are being drawn between the name Labubu and a demonic deity from Babylonian mythology called Pazuzu, who's known as the King of the Demons, and is often depicted with animal features, sharp teeth, a grinning smile, and long ears. Looks familiar, and people got so spooked they started burning theirs and throwing them out of fear. And of course, Simpsons already called it over 7 years ago in an episode where Homer buys a literal Pazuzu toy for Maggie and she gets possessed. Celebrities endorsing behavior with weird demonic undertones marketed towards the youth has disturbingly become just another Tuesday in the 21st century. I do not claim any of this negative energy, and don't worry, neither do you.
Most annoying.
I don't claim that energy either.
Horace Mann. He invented school. Henry Fischel.
What do you mean?
He invented exams.
Wow.
Ethan Zuckerman. He invented pop-up ads.
That was not good, bro. Hate those.
Isaac Newton. He invented mathematics. Adam Smith.
What do you mean?
He invented taxes.
Oh, come on, man. Imagine the world with no taxes, bro.
Levi Hutchins. He invented alarm clocks.
You ever heard the Superman theory? How he's a fallen angel? How? Superman's name is Kal-El. Kal in Hebrew means light. All of the angels, Angel, right? Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. Oh, yeah. These archangels end with E-L in their name. What's really interesting is Kal-El means what? In Hebrew, Kal means light, angel of light. Who is referred to as the angel of light in the Bible? Lucifer. No. So how do people view Lucifer? They view him as very powerful. How does he view himself? He views himself as, this strong guy that can take over the world.
Ego,
Right? The whole mythology of Superman is actually about him being a fallen angel. Damn. This is the...
Really? I never even knew that. Some similarities, though. What do you guys think?
Worst sports injury ever. In 2013, during the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament, 20-year-old guard Kevin Ware jumped to block a three-point shot. But when he came down, his right leg snapped, the tibia breaking clean through the skin, folding grotesquely in a way no one could unsee. Players collapsed to the floor in shock. Some cried. The bench recoiled in horror. Head coach Rick Pitino turned his face away, too shaken to look. The sound alone was haunting. The sight, unforgettable. CBS immediately cut away from replays. It was simply too graphic to show. As medical staff rushed in, Kevin was in agony, but his focus wasn't on the pain. Lying there, he looked at his teammates and whispered through clenched teeth, "Just win the game." And they did. Louisville pulled through with a win and went on to claim the 2013 National Championship, a title later vacated. But forever remembered, Kevin Ware's injury became one of the most gruesome moments in sports history. Yet somehow, after emergency surgery and months of rehab, he came back. He played again. His story became one of pain, perseverance, and unshakable mental strength.
Self-driving cars are causing chaos, but there's no one to give a ticket to, so who is to blame? Waymo's driverless cars racked up 589 parking tickets in San Francisco, costing $65,000 in fines, proving that even AI can't figure out basic urban parking. The most absurd situations happen when police try directing traffic with hand signals, and autonomous vehicles just sit there, confused, unable to understand gestures every teenager can follow. Uber drivers aren't worried about losing jobs to robots because self-driving cars still can't handle bad weather, construction zones, or unpredictable real-world situations. Uber is betting $300 million on 20,000 robo-taxis by 2031, but drivers think the company will struggle with massive fleet ownership costs instead of making drivers pay for everything. Austin is the only city in America that actually tickets driverless cars, while other cities watch helplessly as autonomous vehicles break traffic laws with zero consequences. Congress is proposing the AV Safety Data Act to force companies to reveal how often their cars block emergency vehicles, because apparently we need laws for basic transparency. These cars have driven 70 million miles but still get confused by parking meters. When self-driving cars can't even park legally, how are they supposed to replace human drivers?
This is real footage of Lori Shaver walking down the aisle to marry her new husband after murdering and burying her previous husband in her backyard. This all started in 2015 when 36-year-old Michael Shaver mysteriously disappeared in Florida. His friends and family immediately became worried, but his wife Lori claimed that he abandoned her and the kids and that he wanted to start a new life. However, Michael's friends and family tried to get in touch with him but could never reach him. Eventually, Michael messaged his close friends and family and asked to be left alone. Then, not even a year later, Lori meets a man named Travis Filmer. They quickly got married and they had this beautiful ceremony with both their friends and family in Lori's backyard, which was this huge 5-acre property. At this point, 3 years go by since anyone's heard anything from Michael, and no one has filed a missing persons report. It wasn't until one day his close friend noticed that Michael was uploading very strange photos on Facebook, and he felt like something was off, so he asked police if they could go to his house where he lived with Lori and do a welfare check. The officer went to the backyard, which again was this huge 5-acre property, and described having this weird feeling. He said that Lori's demeanor was completely calm, like she had nothing to hide, and then he notices a cement slab with the outline of what appeared to be a human body. They quickly got a search warrant and they began digging in the backyard, and it wasn't long until they found Michael's body buried under the cement, which turns out was actually poured with the help of Lori's new husband. Her new husband testified and said that he had no idea that Michael's body was laying there and believed the story that Lori was telling everyone. So this entire time, Lori was the one logging into Michael's Facebook and uploading all these strange photos and responding to his friends and family pretending to be him. Now, things get even crazier because when Lori was arrested, she pled not guilty, and her defense tried to pin everything on her 7-year-old daughter, claiming that she shot her father while trying to defend her mother. The jury was not convinced, and Lori was convicted of second-degree murder and was sentenced.
The creepy story of 23-year-old Fan Man Lee and how her head was found in a Hello Kitty doll. Fan Man Lee struggled with addiction for a very long time, and in 1997, she met a 34-year-old Chan Man Lok, who was a drug dealer and a pimp. For that year, Fan Man Lee became desperate for money and drugs, so she stole $4,000 from Chan Man Lok. When he noticed that the money was missing, he asked his two friends to kidnap Fan Man Yi. Originally, his plan was to force Fan Man Yi into prostitution so she can pay him back, but his plan got out of hand and he did something much worse. Chan Man Lok, his friends, and his girlfriend began torturing Fan Man Yi. They tied her up and beat her, burned her, sexually assaulted her, and forced her to eat human feces. Eventually, Fan Man Yi passed away, so they cut her body into pieces, boiled it, and then fed some of the remaining pieces to the dogs. This is where things get super creepy. The three men decided to stuff Fan Man Yi's head into a Hello Kitty doll. And get this, the crime was eventually reported by Chan Man Lok's girlfriend. She basically told on herself because she claimed to be haunted by the ghost of a dead woman. She said that this ghost would not stop tormenting her until she confessed to the murder. It's been said that the building where Fan Man Yi passed away has been haunted for a very long time. People claim to see the figure of a woman walking in the hallways and also claim to hear the cries of a woman.
They had to demolish that building, man, because it's too haunted, bro.
Imagine getting married only to be decapitated by your husband 3 months later. 21-year-old couple Jared and Angie got married in October 2022. Around 4 p.m. on the 11th of January, police were called to their home in Texas. Police made a grim discovery in the pair's bathroom after finding, quote, what appeared to be the head of the victim to be in the shower, end quote. Angie's body was discovered on the floor near the bed in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds to her back. It was actually Jared's poor parents that initially made this discovery after entering the home. They then obviously alerted police to what they found. Jared was arrested and has confessed to killing his wife with a kitchen knife. Jared was actually captured on CCTV, casually stealing a bottle of beer from Angie's workplace just minutes after it's believed that he killed her. Angie's friends have reported to police that the couple's relationship was toxic and Jared was very controlling. Jared's bond is currently set at $500,000.
Man, those toxic relationships, they're not worth it at the end of the day. You're going to do something that you're going to regret, and look what he did. All just because you couldn't break it off, man. You got to end the cycle.
This schoolboy stabbed his teacher to death in front of a classroom full of students. 61-year-old Anne Maguire was a Spanish teacher teaching in Leeds. She'd actually worked at the school for 40 years and she was only 5 months off retirement. However, in April 2014, something absolutely horrific happened. One of her students was 15-year-old Will Cornick. He'd always been described as a smart student who never really caused any trouble. Classmates regarded him as a polite student, but after he got diagnosed with diabetes, his personality seemed to change. In 2013, he tried to join the army, but because of his diagnosis, he was rejected. Being in the army had been his dream, so this was really upsetting for him. After failing to complete his Spanish homework, he was given detention by Anne. He also expressed a wish to her that he wanted to drop Spanish, but she wouldn't let him, which only angered him more. He began to develop a deep-rooted grudge against Anne. Shockingly, he reportedly messaged his friends on Facebook asking if one of them would kill her for him for £10. During one school day, halfway through his Spanish class, Will decided to get up and attack Anne with a knife. The classmates watched on in horror as he chased her out of the classroom. When there, another teacher heard her screams and tried to shield Anne from any more blows from him. Will then allegedly returned to his class and told his classmates how it was a shame that he hadn't killed her. However, Anne did actually pass away from her injuries. Will later admitted that he did plan also to kill 2 other teachers. One of them was actually pregnant at the time. He's been sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 20 years.
What happened that caused his personality to change that drastically?
Let's talk about what happened to 13-year-old Rachel Mellon Skimp. She was born on October 13th of 1982 and lived in Melrose Park in Illinois. At the age of 3, her parents divorced and her dad moved to Dallas and her mom stayed with her in Illinois. Eventually, her mom started seeing a man named Vincent and eventually they got married and had 2 children together. Rachel was described as a bubbly person with a great sense of humor. She was the life of the party and was always the most beautiful girl in the room. On January 30th of 1996, Rachel was at school and was having a normal school day, and as the day went on, her friends noticed that she was crying by her locker, so they went to go ask what was wrong. She said she was having a problem, but that she was going to fix it herself, and that is all she said. The following day, on Wednesday, January 31st, Rachel decided to stay home from school because she was having a sore throat and was feeling kind of sick. So her mom left to work and her stepfather was going to stay home because he wasn't working at the moment. Rachel called her grandma to thank her for the Christmas gifts that she had sent her, and this call took from 4 to 5 minutes. And her grandma said that this phone call was completely normal, nothing out of the ordinary, but she did notice that at one part in the phone call, Rachel was kind of quiet, and her grandma said, "Is he there?" referring to her stepfather, and she said yes, and then Rachel told her grandmother that she needed to hang up. Her stepfather stated that they played the Nintendo before she decided to go up to her room and take a nap. So when she was upstairs taking a nap, he decided to take the family dog for a walk, even though it was 20 degrees below zero. So he left at 2:30 p.m. and then ended up coming at 3 p.m. He said the reason that he took a while is because the dog broke free from the leash and he was not able to get him, so he just figured that the family dog would just find his way back eventually. At 3:15 p.m., Vincent's youngest daughter comes home and she goes straight to Rachel's room to greet her, and that's when she realizes that Rachel's not even there. So the youngest daughter tells her dad that it seems that Rachel is missing, that she's not even in her room, but he just doesn't seem to care. So once her mom gets home, the youngest daughter tells her that Rachel's missing from her room, so that is when her mom decides to call 911 and report her as missing. Stay tuned for part 2.
My gut feeling is.
Put your feet up my table, please. My feet hurt, man. I don't know why. Get them off my table.
So up until this point, it seems like the detective held little stock in Ryan's newest version of events. I mean, a story about getting shot in the eye and living to tell the tale just a few hours later is a bit outlandish. But as Ryan continues to give confusing answers and display increasingly erratic behavior, the detective finally takes a closer look at his wounds.
Let me see your nose. Put your legs down. Put your legs down. Bring your face closer. Oh, my head hurts.
The eyes is still up and moving.
Yeah, be right back.
After this abrupt exit, the man returns with a totally different demeanor. He's worried. He tells Ryan that someone is going to check him out to make sure he's okay.
Hey, Ryan? Yes? I got the fire department coming to take a look at it. They're going to probably take you to the hospital. You taking me to the hospital? Yeah, we're going to take you to the hospital. Why? Well, if you've seen your face and the way you're doing things, it doesn't make sense right now, okay? We're just going to make sure you're okay. I just want to go back to bed, man. Well, that's the problem. If you have some kind of head injury, you shouldn't be sleeping, okay? Well, sit down. There you go.
As the two wait for help, Ryan basically repeats his story about the shooting, saying that he just wanted to go to sleep after being shot in the eyeball.
I think I only got shot once in the eyeball. And then you just wanted to go to sleep? Yeah. Huh?
Soon others enter the room to take a closer look at Ryan. I believe it's the detective saying, "You're not going to believe this one."
Captain, you're not going to believe this one. I can't believe it either. You're right. I've already heard the story. I can't believe it. This is just my observations that this might be an entrance, this might be an exit, this might be into his eye. And he's acting like he has a serious head injury, which would make sense.
So now all the puzzle pieces are starting to fall together. A single explanation appears that nobody would have expected in a million years, and it's one that they probably hope isn't actually true. That's because if Ryan really had been shot in the head, that would mean that they neglected to get him proper medical treatment while he waited in the police car and underwent this lengthy interrogation, which, when all was said and done, allegedly added up to about 6 hours. 6 hours where Ryan would have been sustaining permanent brain damage. 6 hours where he could have gotten help, but instead was getting worse. Well, spoiler alert, it was true. Ryan had actually been shot in the eye, and his account of the break-in and shooting by a man named Richie and his dad was 100% real, even if he couldn't exactly get the details straight due to his injury.
Are there guns around? Kid Eric did it. I don't know how he did it exactly. I might have been shot. I don't know.
And they were still asking questions, man. They gotta get that man out to the hospital. Like I said, I didn't even realize it, but yeah, he was spitting facts that will fall on a policeman and get him medical treatment. They failed to do that. To survive like that, man, they able to tell a tale like that. That's like a 1 in a million chance. 1 of a billion for that to actually happen, man.
Of the emergency.
My daughter is missing.
What's your address, ma'am?
She's gone. We can't find her anywhere. I've called all her friends.
How old is she?
11.
Okay, what's her name, ma'am?
Carly, Carlie.
And last name?
Bruscha, Brucia.
The footage you just watched shows the last known moments of 11-year-old Carly Bruscha as she was abducted in broad daylight by a violent predator. Despite being reported missing by her parents within half an hour of her disappearance, Carly's case would ultimately go down in history as one of the most depraved crimes against a young girl. It all started on January 31st, 2004. Carly had spent the night at a friend's house, but the following day was Super Bowl Sunday, so she wanted to get back home in time to watch the game. She told her friend's mother that she was allowed to make the walk back home on her own and departed around 6 p.m. However, after she left, the concerned parent reached out to Carly's mother, Susan, and informed her that Carly was walking the mile back home alone. Susan said she didn't feel comfortable with her daughter walking even just a few blocks alone, so she sent her husband and Carly's stepfather, Steve Kanzler, to find Carly and drive her the rest of the way home. However, as Steve went up and down the route Carly would have walked, he couldn't find her anywhere, and that's when the nightmare really began. Steve continued to drive around for over an hour, praying that he had somehow simply missed Carly, but when he returned home and she still wasn't there, it became clear that something was seriously wrong. Susan later said of this moment that she instantly felt something terrible had happened to Carly, saying, "In my heart, in my mind, I knew." Susan and Steve left the house together to search again, shouting Carly's name out the car window as they drove down the road. They stopped briefly to investigate a wooded area and noticed a red tow truck drive slowly by them. Then they continued retracing Carly's steps and went to her friend's house to check there. And much to their surprise, they saw the same red truck parked out front. It struck them both as very odd, and upon realizing that Carly wasn't there either, Susan decided it was time to call for help. The frantic mother dialed 911 around 7:30 that evening. She couldn't hide the absolute terror in her voice.
911, what's the location of the emergency?
My daughter is missing.
What's your address, ma'am? And your phone number? Okay. Has she been missing before?
No, she had a fight with her girlfriend. She decided to walk home, and we've been driving around for about an hour and a half. And it's now an hour and a half walk. She's gone. We can't find her anywhere. I've called all her friends.
How old is she?
11.
And when was the last time that she was seen?
It was at 6 o'clock, Gene. Around 6 o'clock.
And she was at a friend's house?
Yeah.
Okay, what's her name, ma'am?
Carly, C-A-R-L-I-E.
And her last name?
Bruscha, B-R-U-C-I-A. She's just shy of 5 feet.
Okay. Do you know how much she weighs?
She's around 120 pounds.
And what color hair does she have?
Dirty blonde.
And what color eyes?
Blue.
Following the heartbreaking call, police immediately issued a BOLO, or Be on the Lookout alert for Carly, and searched the surrounding area for 4.5 hours, but found nothing. Meanwhile, Carly's family and friends got to work creating missing persons flyers with her face on them, and they began handing them out the next morning. But something happened during this time that struck a few people as suspicious. Carly's stepfather, Steve, allegedly visited a local equipment rental business to hand out flyers and asked one of the employees if he could purchase drugs in a couple of days after this whole thing blew over. The employee thought it was a very odd thing to say when his stepdaughter was missing, so he contacted the authorities. Detectives also felt that something was off with Steve, so they brought him in for questioning. He stated that he'd been at home the entire time with Susan, which she was able to corroborate. After fully verifying his alibi, he was cleared as a suspect, but Steve did offer them another name, Ron Choquette. Ron was the owner of the red tow truck, and he'd apparently been dating the mother of Carly's friend for 2 months. He was home the night Carly slept over, and at one point, he was the only adult present. So naturally, Steve informed police about how he'd noticed Ron's red truck.
It was Ron, wasn't it? That case, man, had some freaking twists and turns, bro. You just know that's a tragic case. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up in this video. Comment down below. Don't forget to hit the post notification bell. You guys are going to catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.